The AdNews Advertising Hall of Fame Award was founded in 2009. Inductees are chosen based on how they have influenced the direction of the advertising industry and helped put Australia on the world map. Paul Hogan did that a bit, but you've done it as well, through outstanding, innovative and original advertising. Now, to make this very special presentation with a career in the advertising industry spanning over 50 years, please start your round of applause as I invite to the stage Jim Keenan.
When I first met tonight's inductee into the Hall of Fame, I remember he was very demanding, he drank a lot, and he often went to sleep after lunch, which, given he was only 9 months old at the time, was not very original. Everyone was doing it. So 50 years ago, I had no way of knowing he would become one of the most original thinkers I have met in the advertising business, and I have met many. He's always been a precocious kind of bloke, and amazingly enough, he was made CD of one of Sydney's leading agencies at the tender age of 23. That was because his creativity is at the highest end of the scale, and even now, after many decades in the business, he is still looking for and often finding the big idea. He has been a significant contributor to many truly remarkable campaigns over the years. He has built brands and helped many, many clients realise their dreams. The reason for this is simple. He understands better than most how advertising works, how it actually works. This has allowed him to build a significant advertising business in 3 different countries and 5 different cities. A formidable achievement, particularly as he had already built a very successful advertising network in Australia and had sold it to a unsuspecting multinational. Some important things he has mastered in his long and highly eventful advertising career are a deep understanding of the power of a big idea to build an enduring brand image. He also understands the power of propaganda and the power of strategic thinking. And I should probably add another one, financial acumen, the ability to make large amounts of money, which is always a nice addition. But back to the big idea part, advertising, like art, often imitates life, or the best of it does. And that's where our recipient has excelled as a writer and a creative director. He has a deep intuitive appreciation of whether people will react favourably to a quality idea. This is a gift few in our business possess. His understanding of propaganda may seem like a strange attribute to raise here, but it is, when you think about it, at the core of the advertising business. Tonight's recipient understands propaganda very well indeed and uses it more effectively than most, both for his clients and to promote himself. A brilliant combination, really. And strategic thinking is a place where creative directors go if and when they grow up. As you know, many do grow up. But our recipient cottoned onto the strategic thinking concept early in his career and has grasped its essence as the most essential component of an effective advertising process. Here I should also add that tonight's Hall of Famer has always been a real champion of young talent. He has populated his various agencies with more than his fair share of almost underage talent and has been rewarded with many, many great ideas. He has given scores of young people their first break in the business. He has done the same with women, giving them more important positions, senior positions, than any other advertising group on a pro rata basis that I can think of. Even today, one of the most glaring errors of advertising is the serious lack of females in senior executive roles. Our recipient had the prescience to see this and act to change the situation in his organisation. And last of all, only a small percentage of hardcore creative people also have financial acumen. The two are sort of counterintuitive. Our recipient had to learn the numbers game on the job after a fairly traumatic start due to a partner who did him wrong. But learn he did, and he has become rich as well as famous. So tonight's Hall of Fame inductee is rich, famous, and a very worthy recipient of this recognition. Thank you.
This year's inductee to the AdNews Advertising Hall of Fame is Sean Cummins. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sean Cummins into the AdNews Advertising Hall of Fame.
There's plenty of imitators, but nothing's as good as the original Kraft peanut butter.
Find us in your supermarket freezer?
No, you nit, it's Findus. Rock and rolls from Findus.
You're the nit, you nitwit.
Let's trash this place. Rock and roll!
Don't hold back, make it before the good.
Are you looking for work? Well, you may want to consider moving to Australia.
Australia's Tourism Bureau looking to fill what it is calling the best job in the world.
Here in the north of Sweden, the sea is covered with ice. So if you want to go snorkeling, you need an icebreaker.
The RSPCA's Animal Rescue Service is under threat. Your tax-deductible donation can help, because accidents do happen.
Is there anybody out there feeling something? Engage me. Let me breathe the courage of your action. Don't hold back, make it before the good.
You see, it's not what you say that defines your character. It's what you do.
Better make mine a milk.
Because he's a dairy mama.
In Woodstock, Kentucky, we found that the more we turn our American oak barrels, the better the bourbon tastes.
Mom bought a Jeep. She bought a Jeep. Yep, she bought a Jeep.
Not exactly brain surgery, Roger. I bought a Jeep.
I bought a Jeep.
I bought a Jeep!
He's eating Doritos on my ultrasound. Give me that.
Hold back. Is there anybody out there feeling something?
I know probably a lot of people think that's the guy with the most punchable face in advertising. I'm sure I always look like I've got that impervious smirk on my face. I don't, it's just, I don't know what else to do in a photograph, so I always sort of slightly tilt my head and look kind of like a Labrador. Thank you, AdNews, James Yaffa, ladies and gentlemen. You know, when you pick up an award like the AdNews Hall of Fame, you realise very quickly that for such an individual honour, your career was never a solo journey. The people that were involved in my work life fit neatly into 4 categories: mentors, collaborators, partners, and clients. The gentleman that just introduced me, Jim Kiernan, is a long-time family friend who also happens to have had a hot Sydney advertising agency in the 70s and 80s called Pope Kiernan and Black, and that is the Ray Black. It was the first advertising agency I ever walked into, and I remember how amazing it was. A bank of colour, yes, colour televisions were in the reception, beaming out the broadcast networks of the time, 7, 9, and 10. I walked through the agency and I saw guys with long hair, playing guitars and smoking what I was led to believe were Indonesian cigarettes. I was taken by the people, and Jim was my first mentor, and throughout my career he's been a touchstone for me. He ignited my passion and was truly the one who taught me advertising. Jim, thank you very much, and I think he deserves a round of applause for probably the best speech you'll hear about advertising, maybe not so much about me. But your mentors are only as good as your ability to listen. I always listened hard. And when people had a point of view that was good enough, it became my point of view. My other mentors like Mike Dorno, Bruce Stainsby, Cesare Leonardi and Rod Curtis have meant the world to me, and they gave me the tools that I use today still. You realise at this stage of your career that your mentor's DNA runs through you, and really you become an identikit picture of all those people. And I only hope that I represented them well. Any of the work that you saw here tonight that is attributed to me should be also attributed to many fantastic creative, media, strategic, production and account service people who made these pieces of work happen. I've always been very generous in the attribution of work. I know sometimes that my name can dominate, but I've always preferred to win as a team than take all the credit as an individual. And I'm very proud of all that work. Well, I don't know, does that sound bad? I don't know, whatever. I'll review the tape later. I also realised that when I was a copywriter, the majority of my collaborators were women. Michelle Bloomkamp, Kay Sherman, Sassy Haviett, Beck Brightson, Samira Ansari, and now latterly, Kirsty Muddle and Awa Madawi. The majority of my creative partners have been women. There was, and probably still is, a boys' club out there. And I recognised it years ago, and I didn't want to be a part of it. I didn't want a bar of it. The minute you allow yourself to be that guy, well, you become that guy. I am a openly white heterosexual male. That's a thinker. And I'm glad for tonight's honour, but I hope we see a woman in the Hall of Fame soon. And this isn't political correctness, this is statistical correctness. Partners in my business have been my greatest joy and my most towering frustration. It is second only to marriage in the level of commitment and therefore the liberties you can take with each other. My first partner, Michael Collinson, spoiled me with his support and love and patience. My new partners, many of them here tonight and too many to mention individually, represent a dream team of the best people I could ever hope to work with, and it's great to have them here. But clients are why I do this business. I am an inveterate pleaser, and the joy and thrill of winning a client over with creativity tops anything, even this award. I do this because I want to have an impact on business and society. And clients are the patrons of our work. And I honestly think sometimes people in advertising see clients as the enemy or certainly irritants to their sort of unfulfilled brilliance. Clients are the only reason why I do this. They are your benefactors and partners in a world that otherwise you would never have a chance to see. And I have become an expert, or so I think, in so many industries because of the trust and generosity of clients, and I thank them for it. Finally, beyond these, I will possibly pick up a few clients tonight. I'm on the hustle, sorry. Finally, beyond these four groups is my family, who have been unfailing in their love and support. Michelle, JJ, Pepper, thank you. You saw the behind the scenes, and it wasn't always pretty. When my daughter heard about this award, she rather dryly said, well, if there was a Hall of Fame for being a father and a husband, you wouldn't be in it. We have a bit of a gallows humour in the Cummins family, relax. My marriage ended, but my respect and my thanks for a lifetime of support goes to Michelle. As for the industry, and just finally, those in leadership roles need to mentor more. There is no greater joy than having someone come up to you years later and saying, you ruined my fucking life. No, you affected me in ways that I can only thank you for. I saw Mark Green before picking up possibly deserved award for Independent Agency of the Year, and I think, put up your hand, Mark, if it was right when I said to you, I think you should start your own agency. Yeah, I fucking regret that now. We are an industry that is finding new ways to make ourselves into something we are not. We are not tech. We are not data analysts. We are not scientists. We are advertising people. We need independent thinkers, not neophiliacs. Advertising is great, and being in its Hall of Fame is amazing. Thank you.